Alright, so we're back guys with more Detention on the PC. This is the final chapter, chapter 4. We're going to wrap things up here. Now I'll be showing you guys how to go ahead and get the good ending or true ending. However, after that, I will also show you guys how to go ahead and get the bad ending. So I'm going to show both endings in this video since there's only two. But first, we will be going for the good ending. So let's go down here in this room. Now this is the first moment in the game which will determine what ending you get. As you can see, there's a black shadow of us here. This, I believe, is Ray's original spirit or true spirit. So I'm going to be referring to the black shadow of us as the true spirit. Now, there are 4 instances where we encounter this true spirit. This is the first encounter. Each encounter, the true spirit will ask you a question. You must answer the questions right. If you do not, you will immediately get the bad ending. Not immediately, you know, the game's not going to end immediately, but you'll get the bad ending at the end, alright? So, the true spirit will ask you questions, 4 instances, so 4 questions, and you have to get the answers right. There's going to be a selection of 3 answers to choose from. You have to get them all correct in order to get the good ending. So, let's talk to the true spirit. Our life would vanish, but not our guilt. I am you, yet you are not me. It's the sin that makes you linger in this realm. Memories like mirrors reflecting the true likeness of your soul. In a world full of pain and suffering, Feng Rei Xin, what do you fear the most? Okay, so like I said, there's going to be 3 answers to choose from. The correct answer, if you want to get the good ending, is losing myself. If you answer anything else, you know, losing family or losing my life, you're going to get the bad ending. So, because we want to get the good ending first off, we will answer correctly, losing myself. Believe that we are all born free, eager to walk on your own path, and afraid of losing yourself. You are me. So yep, you know you've done it right when the true spirit says you are me. Alright, now it's starting to get a bit weird. Go out, and yeah, we're just here now in the school building as opposed to the auditorium. Strange, but we'll go up the stairs. There's nothing else to do, and we will go in this room. Actually no, we will go, actually yeah, we'll go in here first. There's a white shadow. I think, I don't know, maybe from what I've read online, it says, you know, there's a link which explains the ins and outs of this game. The black shadow is original Ray's spirit, and the white shadow is the earthbound one. I'm not sure, you'd really have to read into it, you know, it's pretty confusing. The way forward is the path to your past. However, the road ahead has crumbled. Lead me anywhere and I will follow you like a shadow. So, yep, basically what we need to do is go out here and watch. This shadow will follow us as we go right, see? The sliding door is wrapped in barbed wire. And we've got to go down, like, you watch, if I go left, this shadow will follow me left. If I was to just do this inside, it wouldn't work, okay? The shadow wouldn't follow me. So, can we go in here? No, yep. So we'll just keep going to the right here. We have to do a sort of loop. Go down, then left, and come back up. And speak to the true spirit. So we'll go left. This is probably a, yeah, like, even though this is my 5th playthrough of the game, it's confusing. You know, the black shadow, the white shadow, and then like, who am I now and who is this one? You know, it's just, who can be calling at a time like this? It gets real confusing. So now let's go back in here. And we'll run all the way to the left, and the true spirit should be here, yep, with another question to ask us. Remember when you enrolled, so full of passion, participating in every school activity, showing off your academic abilities, grabbing the attention of your peers and teachers. Then things took a turn for the worse at home. All the attention quickly turned into unwanted scrutiny. So you chose. The correct answer is we chose to escape. So let's select that. The world is immeasurably vast. There is always a place to hide. You are me. Yep, so we've answered that one correctly. Let's go out. This place is completely lifeless. Even ideas are buried here. Remember to thoroughly destroy each book and add the spirit money to throw them off. There can't be any intact book pages, or else this would be for naught. Hey Wei, you're closer with Miss Yin. I heard that she had to flee the country overnight. Is that true? I'm not sure. She never said anything about leaving. Unlike Miss Yin, we don't have the connections to guide us to safety. Aren't you afraid? Well, actually what bothers me the most is, do you know how the reading list got leaked out? Stop asking questions. I'm as clueless as you. Let's just try hurry up and finish this. We don't want to get caught. Interesting. So there's going to be 3 notes to collect in this chapter. Here's the first one. A written verdict from court. A torn piece of the verdict. Chang Minghui, so that's Mr. Chang, Councillor Chang, district level educator, is found guilty with students Wei and others of collusion with communist forces. Chang Minghui is to be put to death after the court's ruling. Wei Changting, so Wei, pleads guilty to affiliation with communist forces, reading of prohibited texts with rebellious and corrupt thoughts, will be sentenced to 15 years jail time. So there you go, the story is really coming out now as to what's going on. So yep, we'll go through this door here. I was going to go through this door first, but it doesn't really matter. And look at that, did you see that guy there? That's Wei. I'm just going to point that out now. The bonfire of hope is almost depleted, diminishing in the wind. Some of the book contents might conflict with your everyday thoughts, but this material will help you engage in reflective and independent thinking. Well, let's call it a day. I do want to remind you all again to never mention the book club to anyone else, for that might put yourself and others in great danger. And Wei, I'd like to ask you a favour. Yes, Miss Yin, is it about the new books? I've already given the list to Mr. Chang. He said the shipping company won't help us anymore, but he'll figure something out. The government is enforcing restrictions on all imports. Soon the book club might come to an end. Miss Yin, why are things like this? I'm sorry, Wei, there's nothing I can do either. Oh, just one more thing before you go. Mr. Chang never brought us any of those books in the first place, right? Ha, I know I can always count on you. There you go, and there's another note to collect here. Clipping, blacklisted to return home for burial. Half a century in exile, blacklisted to return... Half a century in exile, blacklisted to return home for burial. During the period of martial law, Miss Yin, Tsui Han, I'm just going to say Miss Yin. Miss Yin was a wanted political fugitive. She was lucky to evade arrest and left the country only to be blacklisted. She travelled the world fighting for human rights and freedom of expression, but unfortunately died of lung cancer at the age of 50. Her last wish was to be able to return to her hometown. Now this wish can be achieved with the lifting of martial law. So Miss Yin managed to escape, flee the country. So now we'll head back. And we need to follow Wei here. Seeing Wei walk through the school like this will make sense when we get the true ending. Can't go in any of these doors. Yep, so there he goes in that one. This is actually the bathroom, remember? Yeah. A broom blocking one door. Let's have a look. The door is barred by a broom. There's a note on top of it. Snitcher. Remove the broom. Let's go in. I can hear the piano. So we'll go to the right, see who's playing the piano. Wei? An older Wei. Disappears, and here is the final note for this chapter. Let's get it. Note entry. So this note is written by Wei. Excerpt, that time in fear, forcing herself to breed hatred. Who knew that she would take that leap and leave this world behind? If you remember in, what chapter was it? Chapter 2, I believe. We saw an image of Ray jumping off the roof of the building. That's what this is referring to, alright? Nary a last word because of fear, remorse, the reason remains undecided. I was left with a blur of confused thoughts spiraling through my mind. When I saw the sunlight again, things had changed drastically. My loved ones and teacher went to a higher place. She was buried in an unmarked grave, leaving me a decrepit man. Very, very tragic what's happening. Very, very tragic. Okay, we can't go right, so we'll go left. In here. And we can just save our game here, so might as well. And nothing else to do in this room. Let's go back out. Keeps changing, doesn't it, where we appear. There's a note on the card. And here we go. So, here is the true spirit again. Let's turn the light on. It can't go through the light, so as you can see it stops. So let's change, and then we'll run down here, turn this light switch on, run back, that, and now we will turn this light off. By doing that, the true spirit can go to the left, and this is where you need to talk to it. So this will be the third instance where we have to answer its question correctly. Acting immediately on one's determination. This is the philosophy he believed in, that someone should take fate into their own hands. With you following him, what ideas do you hold? So the correct answer to get the good ending is take hold of your destiny. That is a charming thought. So life has gained a goal. Next to him, you found yourself. You are me. There you go. And we go out. And we can go down this way now. No matter how many times this replays, nothing can be unwound. You can never redeem yourself. Ah, the old banyan tree. That looks like Inspector Bai there. And us. That's me. Instructor Bai. This is the book list I mentioned before. I found it on our teacher's desk. Miss Fang, the country appreciates your assistance. So, it should be clear now, we are the snitcher. We ratted out the students, the book club, Miss Yin and Mr. Cheng. So let's talk to the true spirit for the final time. Did you think finding something to rely on would stave off your fear? One day, however, he was gone, just like that. You've lost everything you can depend on. What choice will you make now? Try to take them back is the correct answer for the good ending. The instructor's sharp gaze was stifling. You steeled yourself and performed without hesitation. In that one moment, transforming into a pitiless patriot. Easier than you think, right? You are me. So now we'll go back. And there's Wei again, so we've got to follow him. And we're coming up to the end now. Very close. We've answered all the true spirit's questions correctly. We're on the roof. There's Wei. Having a cigarette. And just disappears. So, if you've done it correctly, you will see, and by done it correctly I mean answer the true spirit's questions all correctly, you will come down here and see a paper plane on the ground, pick it up, yellowed paper plane, and that's it. Once you collect this yellowed paper plane, you will get the good ending. From the white deer, Mr. Chang, Councillor Chang, to my white daffodil, fate holds us apart, so let us meet again in another life, to our freedom. Remember, Mr. Chang was sentenced to death. He was executed. Open the door. Chang Minghui, you are suspected of spreading anti-government propaganda, smuggling banned books and organising illegal gatherings. The court has already obtained the necessary evidence. We now arrest you on the grounds of rebellious activities. Do not resist on pain of death. Looks like it will be difficult to escape this time. Fine. Take my head so that I may join my brothers and sisters in death. Sigh. Why? Aren't people born to live freely? To think openly, to speak their minds without restriction or fear? Freedom of belief, love and self-realization. Being with you was a happiness of the simplest and purest kind. I couldn't help but think. When we could be hand in hand, living an untroubled life. But in the end, this is only a fool's dream. I too am vain like the daffodils, fixated on my grandiosity. The world is not ready for the likes of us.
白水仙染上一河鲜血，只能如铁锈般凋零。
And here we go, guys. This is the good ending. Look, we're actually playing as Wei now. If you remember at the very beginning of the game, we played as Wei. But now he's an old... He looks a lot older. What's happened? We've got Wei's notebook. Let's have a read. Maybe this will give us an indication as to what's going on. Amnesty certificate. So, remember, Wei was imprisoned for 15 years. So, let's read this. Amnesty certificate. A certificate of amnesty. Name, Wei Chung Ting. So Wei. Type of pardon, amnesty. Crime declared invalid. Thought I would rot in jail. I didn't expect to live past martial law. People say I'm a victim of politics. My crime was written off. But my youth is long past. Something lost can never be regained. So, if you guys are still confused as to what's going on with the story, let me explain it because it's all been laid out now. So, where do I begin? Ray, the whole game, like going through the school as Ray, it's not real. It's her spirit sort of just going through an endless cycle, going through the school. Why? Basically what happened is she fell in love with Councillor Chang. They developed a romantic relationship. Mr. Chang and Miss Yin and some other students, including Wei, were all part of a book club, alright, reading prohibited texts. Taiwan in the 60s was under martial law during this time, which is when the game was set. So reading prohibited books is pretty much prohibited, okay? They weren't allowed to do it. So Miss Yin actually took Mr. Chang away from Ray. She saw, Miss Yin saw that Ray and Mr. Chang were in a romantic relationship and she put a stop to it, She said, you can't do it. Ray's just a child. You got to stop seeing her. Anyway, Ray was pissed off as a result because Mr. Chang sort of just coldly distanced himself from Ray. And because Ray overheard Miss Yin do that, separate them, say that, Mr. Chang shouldn't see Ray anymore, Ray was naturally pissed off, and as a result, she learnt of the book club through Wei, I believe, and it had, she got the book club reading list off him, and she took it to Instructor Bai to, as a fuck you to Miss Yin sort of thing. And yeah, I don't think she realised, Ray realised the seriousness of it. And that was it. Miss Yin had to flee the country. Other students were executed or imprisoned. Wei was imprisoned for 15 years. And Mr. Chang, Councillor Chang, was executed. So because of all this, Ray was extremely guilty and she committed suicide. Alright, she jumped off the roof of the school building. And the game we're playing, like I said, is Ray's spirit just going in an endless cycle through the school. Can never leave the school. You know, it's trapped because she killed herself here or whatever. I don't know. Something like that, right? So that's basically it. That's what I gathered from it. Feel free to comment on it and, you know, see if that's correct or not. But I think that's pretty much it. So what else we got here? Oh yeah, this is a note from Wei's dad to him while he was in prison, I think. Letters from home. A yellowed letter. My son Chung Ting, or Wei. Even though I witness sickness and death on a daily basis, this still fills my heart with grief. Your mother's disease was utterly untreatable. I can only hope she died without worry, without pain. A person's body can be physically locked up, but your mind is always free to go where it pleases. Father hopes you can still get some peace of mind in this situation. Stay warm, stay safe. Your father, Jia Xin. Eventually, mother still passed away. Father didn't take it well. He had to take a break from his clinic work. His written words were spirited and calming. They supported me during my darkest days. And yeah, we've already read this one. This was the written verdict from court. Cheng Minghui. Mr. Cheng was found guilty with students Wei and others of collusion with communist forces. Cheng was put to death. Wei pleads guilty. Wei pleads guilty to affiliation with communist forces, reading of prohibited texts with rebellious and corrupt thoughts, and he was sentenced to 15 years jail time. The rest of the note is this. 15 years of my life were taken away by a piece of paper. I can still clearly remember when the military police came knocking and carried me off in front of my mother. Little did I know that was the last time I would see her face. And we've already read this note. This was in regards to Miss Yin. She managed to escape. So, yep, half a century in exile, blacklisted to return home for burial. She eventually died, though, of lung cancer at age 50, and her last wish was to be able to return to her hometown. Now, this wish can be achieved with the lifting of martial law. So martial law has been lifted. This is the rest of the note. After being released from jail, I haven't had any contact with Miss Yin. I couldn't believe it at first, but I heard she had passed away abroad due to lung cancer. Like with my mother, only after seeing her ashes with my own eyes was I able to realize I had lost a familiar part of my heart forever. And this note, we've already read it. This was in regards to Ray killing herself. Okay, it's written by Wei. So yep, it says here, who knew that she would take that leap and leave this world behind? I was left with a blur of confused thoughts spiraling through my mind. My loved ones and teacher went to a higher place. She was buried in an unmarked grave, leaving me a decrepit man. The rest of the note. It doesn't matter what I was feeling back then, only pain and sadness remain. And we can read this. Construction signboard. Evidence of vandalism alongside many signs of protest. So we're playing Wei now after he's been released from prison and he's revisiting the school. As you can see, it's all old and the buildings are run down. Metal lodging for labourers, alas, to be demolished, all to be demolished. And this is interesting. Look, we're going to meet someone here. Look, barred from the heavens and hampered from the underworld. Alone and wandering forever she goes. She goes. Ray? Pitiful. Yep, so that, I believe this is the spirit of Ray, constantly wandering the school. Because, now I'm only going to guess this, but because of the fact that she killed herself, she wasn't able to enter heaven nor hell, so she's in a state of limbo in the school here, her spirit, just wandering it forever. So now all we can do is just keep on walking. We can examine this. The large banyan tree's been cut down. It's weathered the storm of generations, yet it fell under the sharp edge of human desire. And this is the school auditorium here. As you can see, we've got the credits starting to roll now. Time, it rots everything away. Even I cannot hide from it. So I'm not going to speak now, I'm just going to continue walking until we get where we need to go. And I'll just let these credits roll. So, here we are on the second level, and we're actually going to go into our classroom, our old classroom, which is right here. Let's go in. And look, our desk is still there. Let's sit down. There you go, guys. That is Detention on the PC. That is an incredible game. Even though it's only a short game, it's really impactful. You know, it really leaves a mark on you when you finish playing it. It's an intense game, it's heavy, it's horror, but the last two chapters there, like I said, it's more the story just it's more just the story unraveling in full. You know, and it brings out the sad and tragic story that this game encompasses. So that is it, and like I said, I'm now going to show you the bad ending. So I will cut to when we're about to get that, so I'll see you guys then. Alright, so I've just encountered the true spirit for the final time, the fourth encounter, and I've answered that question incorrectly, as you just saw. So I am now going to get the bad ending, so let's go. All the rest is the same up until a certain point. So actually I'll just cut to, yeah, because we've already been on the roof here and we just see Wei smoking as per usual. Actually, you know what, I'll just let it play out. Yep, so here we go. This is where it's different. So remember, if you answer the True Spirit's 4 questions all correctly, there will be a yellowed paper plane here to collect, and that, when you pick it up, that means you're going to get the good ending. If it's not here and you see this, I don't know, is this the True Spirit? It's like all fucked up and shit now. But anyway, if you see this ray here, then it means you're going to get the bad ending. Memories are like a mirror reflecting the true likeness of your soul. Another one here. Maybe you still want to forget. Maybe you're still afraid. Go down even further. And we end up in a different area now. Facing your own aspirations, but not confessing to the truth. I am you. Yet you are not me. This is awesome. I love this part. Look at this. A river of blood with all these bodies. Wei, is that you? Constantly cycling over and over with only the river Sanzu at the end of your journey. Mr. Chang, is that you? Councillor Chang? Yet the knot of sin still lies unsolved. The bridge leading to Paramita lies in collapse. Miss Yin. So the Requiem with a warm crescendo welcomes you once again. Just keep walking right here. Where is this going to lead us to? Goodness me, look at this. This is horrific. This looks like the entry to the school auditorium. You know what? It certainly is. We've got an audience here. Let's go on stage and have a look. Okay, why is this ray holding a rope? Let's have a look at this item we've collected. Sin. Life ends, but sin is permanent. In silence, I await my curtain call. So yep, you know what we need to do. Drag and drop the rope there. So there you go, guys, that is the bad ending. And basically what I make from that is the reason why you get that ending is because Ray still cannot face herself. She cannot face what she's done because you answer your true spirit's questions incorrectly. So by answering it incorrectly, you still can't face yourself. You know what I mean? You still can't come to terms with what you've done. And so it's just a never-ending cycle of just going through that over again. But that is it, guys. That is the end of Detention. Short game, fantastic game. I highly recommend it. It's deep, it's scary, it's got fantastic atmosphere, music. It's a brilliant, brilliant, unique game. But that is it, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm out.